Today, I want to take a deep look into a project that I think is really undervalued. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the Crypto Jungle. My name is Baloo the Bear, and here on the channel I try to keep crypto simple and realistic and easy to understand. So in today's video, I want to talk about the fundamentals and the technicals on a token that I think is really undervalued in the market currently, and that is SushiSwap. So SushiSwap, for those who are unaware, is a decentralized exchange governance token, which basically means that it is a utility token that has a few functions within its ecosystem. This ecosystem is a competitor to Uniswap. So anybody who has interacted with a Ethereum smart contract automated market maker on the Uniswap protocol, this is a competitor to that protocol. In fact, it's actually a Uniswap fork, and it had a lot of contention in the early days as a copycat, and rightfully so, because they did copy the code. However, getting hands-on with it and it becoming my day-to-day use of a decentralized exchange, I can tell you that it's much more than a fork. So let's take a look. So before we get into the technicals and the hardcore fundamentals, I just want to do a little bit of comparative analysis, mainly on the tokenomics between SushiSwap and Uniswap. So we'll take a look at the tokenomics of Uniswap first off. Uniswap is valued at just under $20 at the time of recording this video. It has a market cap of $10 billion. And a circulating supply of about 500 million. Now, this is half of the available supply, the total supply that is going to be circulating eventually. It has some sort of schedule for releasing the tokens. Its total supply is 1 billion tokens. Now, when we compare that to SushiSwap, we can see that SushiSwap has a market cap of just under 2 billion, so about 5 times less market cap than Uniswap. But the interesting thing is more so in the tokenomics, in that its max supply is 250 million tokens, with 192 million of those in circulation today. That's a big difference between the two protocols in their circulating supply. Whereas Uniswap has just over half of its available supply in the market today, SushiSwap has about 95% of its supply available in the market today. So that's a big deal for a lot of investors that are thinking about these projects for long-term investments and don't want to have interference with a token release schedule. So we're well on our way with the final supply already available in the ecosystem today with this one, which is a good thing. And on that note of utility, I want to do a comparison as to all of the blockchains that are integrated with SushiSwap compared to the competitors, and you can see that there's a very big difference here. If we take a look at the decentralized exchange Compound is only integrated with Ethereum. Aave is integrated with Ethereum and Polygon. Uniswap is only integrated with Ethereum, Arbitrum, which is new, a true layer 2 for Ethereum. OP, don't actually know what that is. Ocean Protocol, I have no idea what OP is. But you can see, the offerings are pretty limited across most of the blue chip decentralized exchanges out there. And then we have SushiSwap, Ethereum, Polygon, Phantom, Binance Smart Chain, XDAI, One, Moon River, Avalanche. Avalanche is gaining a lot of traction and a lot of momentum these days, so having these dexes that plug and play with Avalanche is very, very important. We can see OKX. We have another one that I don't know, and Arbitrum as well. So the spectrum of offerings that are on SushiSwap are really unparalleled when compared to the competitors. So this does not deserve to be at spot 26 on CoinMarketCap, in my opinion. This is definitely one of the more developed decentralized exchanges that is really integrated with a lot of different products, and that's going to be the thing that really drives value to these protocols, is how willing they are to adopt new protocols, bring them into the fold, and the most important part is have the ability to cross communicate. This is the next step. So the more chains are plugged into a protocol, the more familiar that protocol is going to become with being able to cross-chain communicate, which is going to be the next huge step in decentralized finance. Now let's get into more of the speculation and what is coming down the pipe. What is, coming to the fold here for SushiSwap that's really going to drive demand and drive interest and really push some of these narratives that, come along with price appreciation. So Trident is a upgrade that is coming to SushiSwap. I read through most of this article. It's nothing really profound for the most part. The biggest thing is it's kind of, how Uniswap has version 3, where you can select the liquidity that you would like to provide. So if SushiSwap, if you want to be a liquidity provider on SushiSwap, your fees can be distributed and amongst the whole pool, and you could not get a ton of fees. Whereas if you decided to have a narrow scope, let's say I only want to provide liquidity on SushiSwap between $10 and $15 or $10 and $20, you're going to receive all the fees in a smaller pool, so that there's less dilution throughout, and you get more benefits as a holder. That's not new. Uniswap's been doing that for a while. Uniswap's been on V3 for a few months, so that's not new. But what's interesting is what they're referring to as the third prong of the Trident ecosystem. And the third prong of Trident, the Trident upgrade, is the routing engine. So the routing engine is going to be huge for those who continue to trade on Ethereum, or any other layer 2 for that matter, when you're doing odd pairs. So the example they're using here is trading Sushi for AXS. There is no liquidity pool for a Sushi AXS swap. So what ends up happening is on the back end of the protocol, you pay for a Sushi to wrapped Ethereum swap, and then you pay a wrapped Ethereum to AXS swap. So you're basically paying for 2 transactions, even though you're only putting it in as one on the user interface. It's processing it as 2, and that can make the gas fees go really, really high and become quite expensive very easily. With Trident, they have figured out a way to bridge that gap, and they're going to be able to consolidate those into one transaction, meaning that you're only going to pay one gas fee. And basically what that means is you have a 50% savings on that transaction, which is huge. And there's a couple other things that, they go quite in detail on this article. I'll link the article down below. It's a Medium article that talks about all of the different integrations on this protocol, this network upgrade, this protocol upgrade, excuse me. Now, they originally announced this back in July, and they said that it would take 30 to 60 days before this would go live. Now, currently, at the time of making this video, we are overdue by a few days. So no announcement as far as a delay. And if they are kind of on track, then it should be announced relatively soon. So be on the lookout for that. Now, on top of all of that is this another integration that is going on with SushiSwap, and that is the Bento Box dApps. Now, currently, when you click into the dApps, they only have one of the dApps available fully integrated into this, but a part of the Trident upgrade is they're going to seemingly have 4 decentralized applications here. Kashi is their lending app, but with the fork that is coming, or the Trident upgrade that is coming to SushiSwap, they're going to have 4 applications here, probably more over the coming months and years. But basically, any of these dApps are going to be able to communicate on basically a layer 2. So it's going to be another huge savings in gas. SushiSwap is taking many, many steps to pass savings onto the user, offer many solutions so that you can operate on side chains and layer 2 solutions. And all of this stuff is really being, it's a huge focus of SushiSwap that Uniswap is really falling short of. Uniswap is really ETH or nothing. I mean, they do have integration with Polygon, but for the most part, Uniswap is nowhere near as developed as SushiSwap. Sushi has been very quietly developing in the background. For those who were around back in 2020 2020, in the summer of 2020 in September when SushiSwap first launched. If you went and looked at the website, it looked nothing like this. It was they've done an incredible amount of development. The user interface is slick. It looks good. It functions well. I'm very bullish on this project from a fundamental standpoint, but are the fundamentals going to be enough? Let's take a look at the chart and let's see what we can see from a technical standpoint, all while Bitcoin is kind of threatening to ruin the party here. All right, so we've got SushiSwap pulled up on the chart here. We've got the RSI, we've got the volume. For those who are new, I practice the Wyckoff method. It is a method in which you analyze a trading range and determine strength within that range. Now, this, at the time of recording this video, Bitcoin just had a little bit of a shakeout. Bitcoin's not looking very great, and there's not a lot of investor confidence coming into the space right now. But from what I'm seeing in the charts here, you know, it's still a relatively healthy chart. Now, the accumulation is actually quite wonky, had quite a shakeout down here, which resulted in our seller's climax, which gave us the trading range that we're now looking at right now. For this chart to really become bullish, though, we do have to break above $15, hold support on the top of the range, and mark up beyond that, breaking past the all-time high. So there's definitely a lot of work that needs to be done here from a technical standpoint before we can get too bullish. But I'm liking the chart overall. I'm liking that demand is beginning to come in on this asset. We're seeing an increase in demand. That's always favorable. Again, you know, Bitcoin kind of does rule the space here. So if Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. We can't avoid that. But taking a look at this area right here, we have a bit of a pennant. Now, in the Wyckoff method, once you have the sign of strength, which is the as soon as you get candle bodies that close above the area of the automatic rally, I should probably label that so it's a little bit easier for you to understand. Let's go to the automatic rally here. And let's get the sign of strength as well. Getting lazy with my labeling. So basically, from the sign of strength, as soon as we break above the level of the automatic rally, it sets the top of the range. That's when you begin to pay attention. And the characteristics of this thus far don't look like a typical up thrust. It looks like there is a consolidation that is occurring, and we have what is looking like a descending broadening wedge. So a descending broadening wedge, we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, 5 touch, 6 touch. If it is going to be bullish, this is it. This is the final touch where it breaks out of that wedge, finds support above, and then carries on into markup. So what kind of targets would we be looking for if we did see a breakout in SushiSwap? You can do several different methods. When we're doing the Wyckoff method, one style that Richard D. Wyckoff would always do was point and figure counts. Point and figure counts, we got a lot of tools at our disposal right now. So there's other ways that you can determine price objectives and find targets that are achievable or at least reasonable. This chart is actually kind of ridiculous. I am on a logarithmic, so I have it set up for larger price movements on the log chart. But I'm going to drag a Fibonacci extension from the top of the SOS down to the bottom of the trading range, the lowest point of the trading range. And we have a few areas of interest right here. So right here at the 1.618, we have a relatively reasonable target of just shy of $30. Typically, if you are kind of a shorter term trader, you're going to want to stack your orders before the big evens. So there's going to be a lot of supply that comes in at the $30 level. You want to make sure that you're below the $30 level. Once we break beyond that, things get a little bit more silly. At the 2.272, we have $56, nearly $60. At the 2.618, we have $80. At the 3.618, we have $215. And at the 4.272, we have over $400. Now, those targets are far more bullish than I would consider reasonable targets. Now, there's a lot of things that go into the context of a price objective, and I think the 1.618 at $30, very, very reasonable. It's about a 3x from this point at the time of recording this video. Very reasonable and quite achievable price target. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't get to the upper ends of these targets. It just means that there's going to be a few conditions that are required for those targets to be achieved. First and foremost, Bitcoin needs to break the all-time high. None of this is happening if Bitcoin doesn't behave. Secondly, we're going to have to see the narratives that are built around SushiSwap, specifically with SushiSwap flipping or, overtaking Uniswap. If Uniswap starts to look like the inferior product, now SushiSwap really has a bull case that can help it achieve these targets. It's really going to be kind of a blow off top type scenario. It's going to be a peak euphoria type move for those objectives to be met. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm simply saying it's pretty improbable. So map this out on your own, set this up on your chart and put those targets down. Just don't expect to hit all of them. Anyways, that is all the time I have for today. If you guys are interested in joining the Traders Academy, you can follow the links down below. I have a plethora of videos and tutorials to help you get started on your trading journey, help you make smarter financial decisions, and help you make money for the rest of this bull market. So if you are already signed up on exchanges and you are happy, then we have a coupon code for all new members. You get 50% off your first month with the coupon code WELCOME. And if you do not have an FTX account, not only do I highly recommend that you get an FTX account, but if you do sign up for FTX and Bybit, we will give you a free month. So signing up for those exchanges, getting a fresh account under FTX will get you into the Discord, and you can have a look around and see if it's something that you want to stick around for. If not, we can still teach you quite a bit in 1 month. So with that, I'm gonna end it there. So thank you all for joining in. If you like this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And if there are any projects that you would like me to take a look at, leave them in the comment section down below. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.